Hey, what's up everyone? Zach D Productions here, and I'm here for a list video for you guys. Now, for this list, I'll be going over my top 5 movies of 2024. So, overall, 2024 has not been the strongest for new movie releases, but there's been some shining lights here and there. But I would say in general, this year has just been pretty underwhelming and not so good for just entertainment in general. There's been a lot of flops to come out this year and a lot of letdowns for sure. So I do have a top 5 here. I mean, I didn't get to see every movie that came out this year. I mean, I am a film buff, yes, but I'm just not that type of person that goes to see every new movie that comes out. I mean, there's some films this year that kind of piqued my interest. Some movies that I did miss out on, though, like Alien Romulus. That's a film that I would maybe like to check out at some point because I've heard good things about it, but I've also heard not so good things about it. But I guess it's all subjective at the end of the day. And the Aliens franchise, I've heard nothing but good things about. That's a franchise that I never really looked into, but I feel like it's something that would be up my alley. It's something that I feel like I would be into. And I've thought about it for a while. I've heard nothing but good things about this franchise, especially the first two Alien films. But I've heard once they got to the third film, that's where things kind of dropped off. But I'm willing to give this franchise a chance. So maybe at some point I'll check out Alien Romulus along with the other Alien films. But before we get started with this top 5, I do have a couple honorable mentions. Now, one of those honorable mentions is Venom: The Last Dance, which is, of course, the finale of the Venom trilogy with Tom Hardy as Venom. And I do like this movie. I think it is a good movie, but I wouldn't consider it a great movie, if that makes sense. And is this a good send-off for the Venom trilogy? I'd say it's a decent send-off. I mean, it gets the job done. It is what it is. And honestly, when it comes to the Venom films, it's really hard to rank them. Like, I can't even tell you which one I would consider to be my favorite or how I would rank them. It would just be very difficult to rank all three of the Venom movies because, well, they're all kind of just on that same level of quality, where they're just good but not great, if that makes sense. But Venom: The Last Dance, I think it's still solid for what it is. So, an honorable mention. Now, the other honorable mention is Squid Game Season 2. Now, this is only an honorable mention because it's not a movie, it's a series, of course. I do think it is a step down from the first season of Squid Game. I mean, I think it is definitely a step down. And apparently Season 3 is coming out in 2025, so that's pretty interesting. So, yeah, I know there's a lot of people that had their complaints about Season 2, though, and yeah, I think it's decent, but it's there. It is what it is, so there you have it. Squid Game Season 2, that's my other honorable mention. So let's go ahead and get into the top 5 for my favorite films that have released 2024. So, number 5, One More Shot with Scott Adkins. Now, this is, of course, the sequel to One Shot, which came out a few years ago. Now, with this film and a lot of Scott Adkins movies, they're pretty much straight-to-video stuff or straight-to-streaming stuff, and that's what this film was. And overall, I thought it was a good film and a solid sequel. I do think it is a step down from the first film, but still pretty good. I mean, if you don't know what these films are, these are basically movies where they film the movie as if it was all done in one take, but I don't think it was all done in one take, but they do a very good job making it look like both these movies were all done in one go. It's very impressive work, and if that concept sounds interesting to you, I would definitely recommend checking these movies out. Check out both One Shot and One More Shot. These are both really good. And again, One More Shot, it is a step down, in my opinion, from the first film, and from what a lot of people have said, they've said the same thing too, that it is a step down, but it's still pretty good. It's still a pretty good movie. And of course, Scott Adkins, very underrated actor and a very good martial artist, I would say. So I do dig his fighting style and the way he does things overall. Just really good performance. The action scenes in this film, very good. Very enjoyable film, I would say. So One More Shot is coming in at number 5. So number 4, we have Ultraman Rising, which is an animated Ultraman film, and this is another, I believe, straight-to-streaming movie. I believe it played on Netflix, and overall, I did like it. I did like it. I mean, I wouldn't put this up there as one of the best, things of Ultraman that I've seen, but it is solid. It is solid. I think the animation looks good and everything, and it's a solid Ultraman film. And if you like Ultraman, definitely check this one out if you haven't seen it. So, Ultraman Rising coming in at number 4. So, number 3, Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire. Very solid movie. As a lot of you may know, I am a big Godzilla fan, and this was definitely a film that I was looking forward to. Now, would I say that this film is better than Godzilla vs. Kong? It's really hard to say, but if you had to make me choose between the two, I would say that this film is a step up. I would say I like The New Empire just a little bit more than Godzilla vs. Kong, which is still a very good movie for sure, don't get me wrong, but I think I might like this one a little bit more, to be honest. I like the fact that they have more kaijus in this film, and it does focus more on the monster fights, which I definitely enjoy. Now, my biggest complaint with this movie is honestly the human characters. Those scenes I find to be very boring, not that interesting. So, it is what it is. I think it's a fun movie, though. I think it's more fun than anything. And another thing that I have to critique, I guess, is the lack of Godzilla himself, because this film is definitely more Kong-focused. Like, for the fans of Kong, to those that actually prefer Kong over Godzilla, you might think of that differently. This is definitely a film you might think very highly of then. But I still like the film, even if it does seem like Godzilla is sort of underused in this film. But it is what it is. I enjoy the film for what it is. So Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire, very good movie, I would say. And also probably one of my favorite films of the MonsterVerse saga as well. Very good one, for sure. So, number 2, The Beekeeper with Jason Statham. Honestly, probably Jason Statham's best movie in years. I would maybe say that this is his best since maybe Mechanic Resurrection or maybe even Safe. I think the movie is that good. I think it might be his best since one of those movies. So, a great movie for sure. I mean, he's had other really good movies to come out in recent years, like Wrath of Man from a few years ago. I really did like that movie too, but I think I like The Beekeeper more, to be honest. I do think that this is one of his best. I think that this is one of his best films, to be quite honest with you. This is like a return to form, just classic action flick. Like, if you like those old school action flicks, you're going to find something that you will enjoy from this film for sure. A great movie for sure. And I really like the fact that the bad guys in this film are scammers. That's something that you don't really see in a lot of action films, because obviously when it comes to scammers and these types of people, these are people that we all despise. We all dislike these people. So, of course, we all root for Jason Statham's character to win by the end. So there you have it. Very solid flick. I dig the action. Jason Statham's performance is excellent. Really good movie for sure. And again, I think it's one of Jason Statham's best. So The Beekeeper coming in at number 2. Now, number 1. I know that this is number 1 for many people. Deadpool and Wolverine. This movie definitely surprised me. I have seen a lot of praise, a lot of hype for this movie, and I can definitely see why. It's a great movie for sure. If you are a fan of old school Marvel, this is definitely going to have something that you will like. You have some people come back, like Blade, Wesley Snipes' Blade come back in this film, which is really cool. And you have some other people come back as well, which is really cool to see. And even Hugh Jackman coming back as Wolverine, just really awesome. I mean, definitely great performance from him. And I do like the banter between him and Deadpool, of course. And, of course, some of the jokes, are pretty humorous as well. The action scenes are great. Just very cool stuff. if you like Marvel, I think the thing is about this movie, if you like old school Marvel, you'll like this. If you like the later Marvel stuff, you'll like this. I feel like this film has something for all fans of Marvel, which I think is why it's universally loved by just about everyone, because it does have something for everyone, it seems. So overall, Deadpool and Wolverine, great movie for sure. And I got to place it at number one. And I got to get the Blu-ray to this at some point because I still haven't picked up the Blu-ray. But definitely worthy of owning in the collection. I got to get this and probably the other Deadpool movies as well. So there you go. So Deadpool and Wolverine is number one. So let me know what you think. What are your favorite films that have released this year, 2024? Feel free to let me know in the comments. And what did you think of these choices? So let me know. And also, this will probably be my last video of 2024. So I do want to say Happy New Year to everyone. So there's that. So thank you all for watching. Take care.